The first game is at that Liberty Falls, where the enemy team, it's now been brought forward 8, which is it's quite novel really, because it used to be only up to tier 6. And when I went for my drive around in here, I figured out view ranges, and I know this thing's got 450 metres of view range now that I've got coated optics on it. So I originally started through the middle. There are all the spotter ribbons that you see. And then of course, here we go. YOLO the beam. YOLO the beam. Everybody YOLO the beam. It's only an FCM50 ton. YOLO the beam. No, he must be the only one there. Wow, that hurt. But artillery is nice and kind. So, I'm reduced to that at this point in the battle, and I live to the end. So, they still are going to try and come through, even though one's died, two's died. Now, the Perching decided that he would have a go along the railway bridge, but that's nothing to do with me. I can't shoot him and he can't shoot me. And I shoot the dead tank because of worry, to be honest. I was like, I want to live. So the Object 416 comes out, completely potatoes his shot. He's only got a 180 degree turret, and his gun depression is horrific when it's over the side of the tank, so there's more than likely no chance of him ever making the pen on me around there. So we give him a oi. Nice YOLO. We're shoving him around. So now the AMX Chaffee decides that he'll have a little pop at me, which I'm really quite lucky, to be honest. This thing does have armour, not much. One small mistake from me, and that was me over and done with. He'll be back. Thankfully, we could take him out. Woo. It's not the most damaging game I've ever done or spotted for, but it's just a bit of fun because it's YOLO number 3. And then, to my dismay, we find the heavy tank that's left, don't we? Yeah. Oh no! Ooh! And of course, aiming circle was gigantic on him, so there's no way that was going to pen. I think my tank's so beaten up, it's a wonder the gun even worked. So, this shot though, ridiculous. How does this pen? It's just like RNG that says, yeah, go on then, that'll pen. How? And what did I have to shoot? 1/4 millimetre of tank. Just goes to show you.
Ready to fire on target.
How did we manage that? So the M4043's done a runner. He's now going to spot for his other artillery friend. Thankfully they miss. He misses. The other dude's getting shot. Still chooses to fire at me. Misses. You know, for all that damage that I was worth in firing at and wasting all that money on that shell.
Mission accomplished.
So that's YOLO the Bean Mark III. like I said, it's not the biggest damage. I don't even know how I got 5 points in that game, because our Hummel crushed me on damage, and he's a tier 6. Clip number 2. Excuse me, light tank. There's no artillery. I've got this far. I've spotted nobody with 450 meters of view range. Now this is classic. This is great. I'm sure he didn't mean to do this, but hell, it's funny. So anyway, he's out of his 4 little rounds that he had. I'm sure that he thought something else was going to happen, and I know that that's the end of him. He won't be back. Dead. So the light tank went to town. Excuse me. None of the heavies did. Bearing in mind there's 3 tier 9s on each team. So basically, the enemy tier 9s led their, by example, their team into Lakeville's most absolutely pointless push. Now it's won maybe 3-4% of the time. So I'm just trying to attract this guy's attention onto me so the other guys can pen him. It doesn't bother me if I shoot him or not. I do actually go to shoot the cupolas. No good. Go with some preems. No good. I mean, we're talking about a tank here that can destroy a tier 10, so there's no way I'm going to go out there and YOLO this dude. But he falls back. Now, tell me if I'm doing this wrong, but I did fire at his lower plate. I'm guessing he's really, really well angled. No matter what, I wasn't going to do anything. Oh, so we get one into the Tiger Pig. Tier 7 heavy. I'm sure that he thought that everything was going to be safe because he'd got higher, more experienced tier players. I wanted to track that guy. I want some assist. I can't even get through the tracks. Look, I can't do anything. Nothing. I'm just adding to his block damage for the game, wasting preems. Can't do a thing. Anyway, thankfully, the tanks in front of him can. He's dead. So now we can take apart the Tiger P. I don't mean to be firing armor piercing at him either. It's a bit of a mistake. But I have them loaded, so... Alright, okay. Come around the corner. And a quick BS on him. And now we go to work. We're only doing this to call them back for damage. No way would I cap at this point in the battle. No chance. So we use a dead tank to cover as much of a tank as possible. Now the FCM50T goes to work for whatever tank at its tier fires. Pretty much this thing can out reload twice any other tier 8 tank, pretty much. Especially an IS-6, especially a T-34, especially an IS-3. You can defo out reload one of those because it's only got a 90mm gun. So we now are going to want to get as much damage into this guy as possible to reduce him to a 1-pang. He gets taken down for being, well, clever. The T-29 has an amazing turret. Thankfully, we don't have to get into that engagement with him. You know, I'd be completely wasting my rounds if I shot at the turret of a T-29. Just, you know, those things are god at tier 10 if they want to be. So, I don't know what this guy was doing. I think he was trying to make me think, I'm going to fire at you. I was thinking to myself, go right on ahead. I don't give a monkey's. I'm going to shoot you in the face and kill you anyway. And then we pick up the last kill of the game for 5. And I got that French thing earlier on. Vive la France or whatever it's called. So, that's clip number 2. Another 5-pointer. Great team though, huh? Nobody take town at Lakeville. Whatever. So, now we're on the assault at, yeah, Swamp. I go over here. This is where I take my batch at. This is where I take my Leopard 1 on an assault at high tiers. Generally though, you get somebody come in at least somewhere between me and them in the water to flank over the top. Now, you'll see my name pop up on the game chat quite a lot. It's because I'm trying to get those guys that are camped there on that ridge into the game. It dismayed me. I was like, we have 10 minutes to win this game. Probably could have shot that one a lot better, to be honest. There's a shot later in this game as well that if anyone wants to leave me a comment about it, that'd be great. So we double track the T-32. He's now stuck on the spot. Anything that we did we would have got with that. No, I got a bit. I don't usually get too frustrated or bored with camping and I wouldn't say camping, but with being patient. I don't usually get frustrated with being patient to make the right move. But I did this game. I was like, we need to make some action. We're not moving in at this end. This is too stagnant. It's not happening. So the T-29 gets hit by arty, set on fire. All of those assist ribbons are mine. Now we're going to get into an engagement with the Tiger 1, who has exceedingly good DPM, and believe it or not, even at tier 7, the same amount of hit points as me. So it's a straight up bun fight. Now to try and get the second mark, I have gone with food on this, because even running food I make money. But it doesn't matter. I mean, I can forego 20 grand in the game. So we're going to get into this engagement. Now, this tank has 160mm of armour on the tracks. So if I can get the tracks angled at a good angle to him, if I was really lucky, I could bounce one. And voila. So I got the good angle to him, finally. But it doesn't matter. I really, at that point, was like, oh well, if I die, I die, whatever. I made my play for the game, but I didn't. So here comes the shot. I go with HE, because I know that I'm going to find the arty in the World of Tanks, the most obvious place where arty goes on this map, when it's an encounter game. So it's an HE round. Fully aimed. Where the hell did that go? Because this one pens. I tried to break a module with the explosive. I thought I might be able to one bang him, but no, those things are well difficult to kill. Now I get remarkably lucky here with the Jackson shot. How on see, it's the 160mm of track armour again. So 50 ton loves a bit of ramming, especially against the Jackson that don't weigh anything. So now, you know, this thing can brawl. This thing can brawl when it's you know, when it's got its health and it's come to the end of a game. You can definitely brawl in this and ram things, because, you know, it weighs 50 tons. So there we go. That's game number 3 in my FCM collection for the day. Another 100,000 silver, another 5 points. And yeah, so thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure as always, and keep up the good tanking, guys. Perhaps I hope to bump into you as a green in the World of Tanks world. See ya.